Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Monday to you all. I pray you all received sweet sleep last night, woke up with bells and whistles on, ready to take on this new day. It's a day we've never seen before, a day we'll never see again. However, it is the day that the Lord has made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it. Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to the Gathering of Hearts. I am Regina Banks, your GPS to Wholeness, aka I am the Heart Gatherer. And this morning, your daily dosage is new strategies for a new season. I'm gonna say that again, new strategies for a new season. Sometimes just being who we are in life, because we've done something a certain way so long, we think that that's the only way. We have to realize that as time moves on, that we've got to do things differently. We've got to try new things, old ways. God says, the word says this, that when I come into Christ, old habits pass away. Suddenly there's a whole new world. That's me, Pastor G, rising it. But that is what it says. So we get rid of the old and we start doing new things. And as we move and transition from one season to another, we've got to understand this, that God may handle situations differently than he did in the past. We're so used to the same old, same old. If he did it this way before, he's probably going to do it this way the next time. But that's not necessarily so. He's God. He's creative. He has the power and the ability to do what he wants, when he wants, how he wants, And when you think about how big God is, when you think about miracles, signs, and wonders, it's things that have never been seen before. I mean, he's told us, right, that I'm doing things a new way. It's a new thing that's happening, right? I'm about to do something new. Can't you see it? Can't you feel it in the air? Listen, so he's already told us that he's about to do a new thing. We've got to now switch our brain that the strategies that we used in one season are not the same strategies to be used in the season that we're living in. Like David, remember when he killed Goliath? He did it with a slingshot and a stone, remember? But when he cut off the giant's, head, he used a sword. See, from that point on, we never hear about David reverting back to using a slingshot. And so I'm asking you, we're in this new season. Are you trying to use old tactics in this new season, thinking that they're going to work the way that they did back then? See, when we think about some of the circumstances that we deal with, right? A slingshot or a sling, you pull that back and it reaches in distance. But the things that we're dealing with now are up and close and personal. And this is why David has to use the sword. You got to be up close and personal to be used by that. So here's what we got to do. Switch our brain. Know that God is doing a new thing. You're under new management now, right? I'll say it like that. You're under new management. And so God is doing things a little different. And so we've got to remember that in this new season, we're going to need new strategies. So let's look at Exodus 17:5-6. And we're looking at Moses when the Israelites needed water. God told Moses to strike the rock with his staff. And remember, water gushed out. But later on in Numbers chapter 20, God speaks to Moses and he tells him to speak to the rock. But Moses disobeyed and struck it instead. He used an old method when God had given him a new instruction. How many of us can be like, you know what? We can't judge Moses because we've been in that situation too. Just because God did it one way does not mean he's going to do it the same way. God may have delivered you from death one way, but it does not mean he's going to deliver you from death the same way if you find yourself in that position. Because of this, Moses was not allowed to enter the promised land. Here is why we've got to listen to what God says. Here is why we've got to follow the instructions that have been given by God. As we see with Moses, Moses tried to revert back to the old, not tried, he reverted back to the old. He did it the old way, but that's not how God was moving. That's not how God was operating. And in this new season in your life, remember, it's a new season in your life. We can't revert back to the old. We've got to keep marching forward. We've got to cross over this time. We can't stay stuck. We can't stay stagnated. Understanding sometimes God changes how he wants to operate. And if we don't adapt, if we don't follow those instructions, we can find that we miss what he's doing. Most importantly, we can find that we may miss the promise. Moses had to transition from striking to speaking, just like David moved from a sling to a sword. See, here's the danger in clinging to old tools when God is calling you into a new season. It's that you might miss the blessing and you might not get another opportunity. You might not get another opportunity to experience the promise. Moses' staff was a tool of miracles. But when God told him to speak instead of strike, he relied on the old way. David knew when to put the slingshot down and when to pick up the sword. So my question to you, Heartbeat Nation, on today, what is God telling you to do differently in this season? What has he asked you to put down and pick up something new? I want you to be thinking about that this week, because that's what we're going to be talking about. New strategies for a new season. So what is it that you need to switch your brain on? Could it be that you're in the situation that you're in? Your prayers have not been answered because you have made an intentional, conscientious decision to stay stuck, to stay in the old, when God is doing a new thing. Remember, you cannot pour new wine in old skins, right? You can't do that. So switch your brain, get over here into the new so that you don't miss the promise, you don't miss the opportunity, you don't miss the blessing. New strategies for a new season. That's the daily dosage for today. If you have not subscribed to the YouTube channel already, please do so, because there you'll find all your dosages in one place. Follow me on social media platforms, God Wants Me Whole. Visit the website, godwantsmewhole.org. You know how we do this. Come on, let's say it together. Say, God wants me whole, and I am. Again, I'm Regina Banks, your GPS to wholeness, aka I am the heart gatherer. I love you guys a bunch. Go out there, have a amazing day. Look out for falling blessings, because they are falling all around you. And men, whole man, the whole man. We are meeting tonight on Zoom at 7 p.m. If you need the Zoom credentials, please email us at info@godwantsmewhole.org, and we will get that information right back out to you. Again, make it amazing, and I'll see you all right back here tomorrow as we continue on in new strategies for a new season. Love you guys.